Welcome to Trail Tire TV.
Hey, welcome to episode 2 of Trail Tire TV. Let's start it out right away with a quick tip on how to get your brake disc to not rub. If you're one of those people that has to take your front tire off for transport, whether you mount it on top of your vehicle or for some reason you have to take the tire off, you always put it back on. There always seems like the brake disc won't align straight. Just going to give you a quick tip on how to get it to align straight, as long as your caliper is properly aligned in the first place. Okay, I know you've seen or heard about or have been a person that has to take their front wheel off or rear wheel off, that may be the case, to mount it on your car, transportation. What you do is you flip the bike over like this, you stick the wheel in there, and then you clamp it down. What you find, not doing it now, and then you spin the wheel. I don't know if you can hear it, but it rubs. Now when the brake rubs, it's usually because it's not centered. Now this is a pretty decent fork in that set because it usually sits straight, but even when it does, and I spin it, I get a rub. An easy way to fix this: every time you go to install your wheel, flip the bike back over after you got it clamped. This is very simple. All you do is lean over and put some weight on it. And clamp it. Make sure the shock's compressed if it has a shock. If not, just make sure you have some weight. What this is going to do is center the wheel. It's going to put even pressure on the axle and the actual fork. And then clamp it. No more brake rub. It's that simple. Hey, wasn't that interesting? Now we're going to do a little segment on chains. Can you see the chain? I'm not sure if you can even see the chain in the camera, but I'm going to do a little segment on chains. A little bit about installing a new chain, a little info on a really minor chain tool that's an amazing little thing that a lot of people don't even use or don't know about. And the first time you ever use one, you'll be like, oh my god, how did I ever be without this thing? I'll also do a quick review on a couple of KMC chains. So let's get to it. Okay, alright, here's a little tool tip. Every chain tool in the world that I know of, whether it comes on one of these multi-tools that you use in your backpack, there's this little itty bitty wire right here. You just pull it off, just a little hook, like a piece of coat hanger. I wonder what it's for. Well, here's what it's for. It's for making installing your chain a boatload easier. And all you do is hook it on like so. Then, whether you're using one of these speed clips, or if you have to actually use a press like some of the Shimano chains need, where you actually have to do it, it's a lot easier to work the chain with this unit on here. Pretty cool, stupid little wire. You can make one if you don't have one out of a piece of coat hanger, for crying out loud. Very simple, efficient, really nice little tool. Now, when a chain's new, comes from the factory with a very nice lubricant on it. This stuff is thick, it's gooey, it's sticky, it like sticks to your hand. It's so nasty, strong, sticky. This is a good thing. You want to keep this on the chain. Do not strip a new chain. The factory installed lubricant is the best lubricant you can get for your chain, period. The issue is now the outside's all gooey, sticky, nasty. Now on the outside you really don't need any lubricant, especially on a coated chain like this. How do you get rid of the gooey here without stripping it there? Now I still want to leave a little bit of this lubricant on here, but I don't want it tacky. Here's the trick. Rubbing alcohol. Rubbing alcohol will not break down oil. What it will do is skin it over. So when you touch it, it's not tacky. When dirt touches it, it won't stick to it as easily. It'll still stick a little bit, but it won't stick as easily. Now you don't want it so soaked that, again, you start stripping the oil, because you get enough of it on there, it will start stripping the oil. So what you do is you just take it and you dab it on there, a couple of spots. I actually like to run it, squeeze it, because I don't want it, see how it's all over my hands? I don't want that much. So I squeeze it all over the rag so it forms up. Alcohol evaporates rather rapidly. It's moist to the touch, but it doesn't leave liquid behind. And then you just run it over the chain lightly. Get it on is this outside edge here. It's already getting better. It's still got a little tackiness to it, but it's definitely not as sticky. Still a little tacky. Use a little bit more. And again, you don't need a lot, just a little dab. Squeeze it. You don't want it dripping, you don't want it working into the bearing. You just want it on the outside edges of the chain. Again, you really don't want it on the inner bearing. You just want it on the outside. And that's all you do. You run it through. It might take a little bit. It's fairly dry. And just keep doing it until the tackiness is gone. Now, I do want to run it backwards. I don't normally like to do that because it's kind of dangerous. Don't get your finger stuck in the wheel. Break your finger on the spoke, or break the spoke on your finger. Oh. Keep it from getting totally gunky. Now if you can't get rid of it all, don't worry. This is not a bad thing. The first thing you do is go out and ride it a couple of times, once or twice. It will get dirty even if it's tacky. Dirt will help beat up the stuff, the actual oil, it'll beat it up, and then rub it down with the oil again. I don't have it perfectly tackulous, I guess is the word I'm looking for. There'll always be a little tackiness to it, but it's a lot less than it is stock. If you do this once or twice while the chain is new, again, I can't stress it enough, you don't want to soak the rag, you don't want to soak the chain in the alcohol. That will remove the oil or beat it up. That you don't want to do. But that's it. Now it's not so tacky. Now when I go ride, the dirt's not going to stick to it as much. And you'll end up, after 1,000 miles, with a chain like this. Now, this chain ain't perfect, but it's pretty clean. That is not a disgusting, oily, nasty, black and written chain. I'm going to do a quick review of this chain. I just replaced it with their higher up chain. This is a KMC. I believe it's an X9L. And this is the KMC X9SL. Basically the same chain. The only real difference is this has got the hollow pins, where this has solid pins. And it's also the outer links are hollow, where on this one only the inner links are hollowed out. Big thing, weight. They're very, very weight conscious. If you're a weight weenie, you should be running a KMC chain. They are quite a bit lighter than the Shrams or Shimano's or Whippermans. I was really surprised for its weight, its class, everything. This chain was very rugged. I've heard some bad things about them. Never had an issue. This was on here probably, I'm guessing 500 to 1,000 miles, somewhere in that range. Never had an issue with it. The real big thing is this coating. TI coating. I don't think it's titanium. I don't know what it is. It's gold coated. It's very blingy. It really works. I was really surprised. I expected it to just wear off after, you know, a number of shifts. I expected to see it all torn up. Again, this has got it probably got close to 1,000 miles on this chain, and all the gold is still there. There's very little bit of wear if you look at the very tops of the rounds, just above the pins, on a couple of the links. On the X's, you can see the little shift X. I don't know if it's there for just decoration or if it's supposed to help it shift. But if you look on some of them, it's a little worn. But honestly, it's held up quite well. I was really very well surprised with the chain. I would highly recommend it. I think I'm going to stick with them. I like it better than my SRAM and Shimano chains have been. It's just a nice chain. This is the next step up, the X9SL. It's a tad lighter if you're a weight weenie, if you're a bling weenie, or if you just want a nice chain that they're really not that outrageously expensive. You can find them around at a reasonable price. It's a really nice alternative to the standard, you know, market SRAMs and Shimanos. Very pleased with it. I gotta say it's worn quite well. I have literally not oiled this chain since I bought it. Their stock oil is very nice. If you use my tip with the alcohol to get rid of the outer edge, if you run your hand over this, I know obviously you can't in the video, but I can feel it. I can still feel the oil, but it's not tacky. And if you look at this chain, the only thing I've ever done is just taken a rag and wiped it off. And it's still flowing. I mean, there's no stuck links, there's no goo. You know, it's a little dirty, but it's, you know, it's actually in pretty darn good condition considering how many miles is on it. And I actually did miles recently on it on the beach with sand, seeing if I could get sand to stick in there, and it really hasn't. And what little sand did get in there, it didn't do any damage. Really quite impressed with the chain. Can't say enough good about it. I will probably stick with the KMC chains as long as I don't have any more issues.
That's the end, folks. Thanks for watching Trail Tire TV.